Welcome to the Business Power Hour with Lisa and the Music Man. Live from Studio C at media stations in Bohemia, New York.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Business Power Hour with Lisa and the Music Man. Listen to that crowd, Lisa. They're just like cheering
Sounds
like
good.
crazy. Like,
Yes, they are.
wow. Oh, I just love that. That's terrific. Anyway, Lisa, how are you?
I am doing well. And Norman, how are you this evening?
I am fine, recuperating from my vacation from a week before. And just having a good day. Business is good. Life is grand. I feel well. And yourself?
I feel well. Business is busy, so we like that. And
So people are calling, huh?
yes, they are calling.
Well, we're going to increase somebody's business tonight. We're going to increase Ray Fitzgerald's business. Ray, jump in and say hello to everybody.
Hey, hello, everybody. Lisa, how you doing? And Norman?
Well, pleasure. Nice to
I
have
think we're
you.
doing well.
You are a very interesting gentleman. I only had the pleasure of meeting you a few months ago, but I believe Lisa and you have been speaking with each other through one of our networking groups for a while now. And you have a very, very interesting background. And if all the people that are listening, get a pencil and paper. Because in addition to getting Ray's phone number, you're going to want the information that he's going to be giving you tonight. Because it's real useful. And if you're in business and you have a computer, or you just have a computer and you want to be in business, this is the gentleman that you need to speak to. And Ray, so let's get it started and let's tell everybody the name of your company and what you do for a living.
Okay. All right. Name of the company is Greatest Hits Websites. I started probably 17 or 18 years ago doing websites for small businesses. And I actually started that for a couple of reasons. First of all, to give myself a little bit of extra income. But the other thing was a lot of the businesses that I dealt with didn't have the resources to start a website. A lot of them are very expensive to do, and it was a way for me to be able to help them.
Well, stop just 1 second. Let's go back before the 17, 18 years. Let's talk about when you were a kid in the playground and what you were thinking about doing with your life going forward.
Well, I was born at a very early age. No, that's
most of us are.
We all were.
Actually, when I was a kid, I wasn't sure. I thought I was going to be an engineer, quite frankly, and I was good at math.
You mean a choo-choo train engineer, or are you going to be an electrical engineer?
Yeah, I can't remember going back when I was a little kid playing with the cars in the dirt. I can remember putting baseball cards on my bicycle.
Yeah, I used to do that flip.
Spokes.
You used to make all that noise.
I just wonder how many Mickey Mantle cards I put on there and didn't realize it at the time. I could have been rich by then.
Exactly.
No. The things we should have saved in our youth. Huh?
That's right. That's
How
right.
many Barbie dolls that, I ripped out of their boxes.
I never got into the Barbie dolls myself.
No, G.I. Joe.
Well, now it's a very common occurrence to get involved with Barbie dolls. So you don't remember what you did have a Mickey Mantle card on your tire.
Probably
on
did.
the spokes. And you were getting a little old. Now you're a teenager.
Right.
And you're in high school. And things your mom and dad are talking to you about, college and what do you want to do and where are we going to go from here? So lead us on. Take us from that point.
Well, actually, when I was a teenager, I was the oldest of six. And there wasn't a lot of income in our family, quite frankly. So I remember at 14, 15 years old with a rake on my shoulder and a lawnmower walking around the neighborhood. I grew up in Erie, so in the wintertime it's snow shovels, looking for work to do, looking for ways of making money.
You sound like my brothers. I'm one of six also.
Okay. Yep.
Yep.
And so we're looking for ways to make money. And then I got a job working in a restaurant, washing dishes. Did that for about a year.
Right.
Got a job in the supermarket, stocking shelves and that type of thing.
I think every kid as a teenager worked in a supermarket or a grocery store of some kind.
I tell everybody, most people that get a job in a supermarket when they're in high school, but when they get out of school, they know enough to go out and get a real job. And that kind of went over my head, I think. So I stayed in it.
Oh, it went over your head. If you had hair, it would have stayed.
The hair would have stopped it. Quite frankly, I really enjoyed working in the store because every day was different. The challenges were, every day was a new challenge. And in high school, I took drafting in high school and took engineering at college for a couple of years. And I was offered a job managing a supermarket or being an assistant manager of a supermarket. And the pay was pretty good. It was tempting and I enjoyed doing it. So I left school and took the job. Good. And started full-time at that point and was in it for many, many years.
How long did you work there?
Well, I worked there. I worked for different people when I first got started. All told, about 47 years.
Wow, really?
In that entire industry, right? So I wanted to learn every job I possibly could, how to order product, how to wrap product and things like that. So I worked up to manager, and I managed stores for absentee supermarket owners. And I did
nice.
Did
So were those franchise grocers or were those national or local?
Well, initially it was IGA. They were IGA stores.
Okay.
And what happened in Erie is A&P had several stores, and they had left the company, left that part of the country, and those stores became available for independent supermarket owners.
Okay,
IGA wasn't a major chain in New York, but in the suburbs, especially out east.
Yeah.
IGA was all over the place.
That's called an independent grocer association. That's what IGA stands for.
Right.
So those are independent businesses. And there are still a couple out there in the
There are many. Yeah,
there are still some.
Part of the country that you're in. Yeah, there's none around us right now, but they're still in business.
Wow.
All right, so you worked for IGA, and what was the next step from there? You decided, I guess, that you had enough?
No, actually what happened is a store became available for sale in town. I was in my 20s at the time, and three of the supermarket owners, one I used to work for, but the other ones knew who I was because I had been in it for a while. They made me an offer to lend me the money that I could buy that supermarket that was for sale. Mm-hmm. So I took a second mortgage out on my home and borrowed 30 grand from these three supermarket owners and went to the bank and got an SBA loan and bought the store.
Did you go to church a lot at that time?
No, quite frankly,
well,
I didn't.
You probably should have.
There wasn't time, especially if he was open on Sunday.
I worked 7 days a week for quite a while.
Wow.
Yeah. And actually what happened is that store was struck by lightning, burnt to the ground. I was underinsured. I had some income property, so I sold the income property to get back in the business. It was about a year later, and I bought another store in town.
Get out of that town.
I was there for 3 years, and then what happened is a big chain moved in town with 3 brand new stores. Giant Eagle, if anybody's from the Western PA area, they know who they are.
What do they do?
They're a grocer.
Yeah, big grocer. And they came in and disrupted the market so much that, and I was in there on a shoestring to start with, so I was the first one to go. But quite frankly, all of them eventually went out of business in that town. I think there's one left out of like 20 of them.
And Giant is like a sister store to Stop and Shop on Long Island.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Yep.
They have quite a few different chains that are all combined in one company.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So what is an interesting story you'd like to share with us and the audience?
Okay. I think probably the biggest thing is when the last 30 years of my career doing that, I was a consultant for independent supermarkets. I went around a few different states and helped them with marketing, pricing, just operations in general. And I absolutely loved it, quite frankly. Loved doing that. And but we had stores, independent supermarkets. You had some large stores, and then you had a lot of smaller stores. We even serviced some convenience stores too. And what I found is a lot of these stores didn't have the money to be able to afford especially the technology. But it's everything really. You know, new cases for their store, new scanning equipment, stuff
Right.
like that. They were always behind the 8 ball on that. And so I decided to start doing websites on my own, and kind of taught myself how to do that. I've been doing that for a lot of years. And there was two purposes in it. One, to provide me with some additional income, but the other thing was to help the smaller business owners be able to afford the technology, because I was selling websites for about half the price that they were able to buy them for. And
Is this the same business that you're in currently?
yes, it is.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. The technology's changed over the years quite a bit. But
So I guess you had to go and
Same.
keep getting educated with all the
Yep.
different products that are coming
Yep.
up.
Every time they change it, you have to learn a new system. But
When you build your website, do you put ADA in them and everything?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's a big thing now, because they have
Yeah.
a lot of attorneys are, there's a few attorneys around the United States that are looking for websites that are not ADA compliant. And
If they find them, those people aren't going to be very happy.
oh, the fines are way more than a website costs.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then that doesn't get them out of it. They still, after they pay the fine, they still have the work to do to make them ADA compliant.
So tell us about the kind of computers, the information you put in computers. Do you have a specialty? Is there a special industry that you service with your computers, or is it open to it's open to the general public, but do you have a specialty as well?
No, I don't. We do websites for all kinds of businesses. I've done supermarket websites. I've done chiropractor, an attorney, electrician. It doesn't really matter, because the websites are basically, the technology behind them is the same regardless of the business. A few of them get, like real estate, you know, being able to feed the information onto the page of homes that are for sale. And that takes a little bit of different technology than some of the other websites do. But basically, there's not much difference from one industry to another. And we're able to do any of those.
That's awesome. And so you're providing services all throughout the U.S., or are you staying local?
Yep.
What's your footprint for servicing?
Okay. Yeah. Most of my customers are in my local area, quite frankly. But yeah, I have customers in different parts of the U.S. that we service. Yeah. And
Okay.
because everything's online today, it doesn't matter where the business is. We can even, you know, we could do them in Canada, Mexico. You know, not a website, but I did a video for a customer in Houston, Texas, a couple months ago. And what it is a review video. It has one of his customers talking about his service in the HVAC industry.
Uh-huh.
And the secretary that worked for him was doing the interpreting for us, because he didn't speak Spanish, or he didn't speak English, and I don't speak Spanish. So he did the translation for us, and she says, the owner wants to know if you could do this review in Spanish. And I said, sure, we could do so. So when I put it's a 1-minute video. When I put the video together, I had a Spanish-looking person reading the text. And then all the text is displayed on an iPad in the video. And all of the text then was in Spanish. We converted everything over to Spanish, and had a call to action at the very end. So it was a new experience for me, quite frankly.
Bueno.
That's great.
But trouble enough with English.
But when you're working with Canada and Mexico, you got to make sure the exchange rate meets what you're getting paid.
Yeah.
Be careful
Let's talk
of that.
about that for a second. what is forget your business for one moment.
Okay.
You got to know what your competition is doing in order to stay competitive. What is an average website cost nowadays? Now, let's say there's a bunch of landing pages, about 6 or 7 buttons, all those little things that you make money on. Give us an idea of what an average website will cost to do.
Okay. Well, I've talked to different companies in the area because I knew I was cheaper than everybody else, but I wanted to know what websites sell for in our area. And quite frankly, they start at about $5,000 or $7,000 and go up from there. And I was selling websites at a fraction of that, and we still are cheaper than our competitor. They're in the neighborhood of like $3,000-$4,000. Complete, yeah.
ADS.
Is that with a checkout? Are they buying product on that page, or is it just promotion?
Some of the websites I have are e-commerce websites where the product is displayed and they can click on it and go through the checkout process, use their merchant account, or they can use PayPal or Stripe, those things like that. There's different payment methods that we can apply depending on what the customer has.
Is there anything special that you do to your websites that make you stand out? Forgetting the price, which is always great. That's getting people through the door. And now you got to sign them up and you got to do it. And they're going to sign because it's relatively inexpensive. But what do you offer them in your website package?
Actually, well, everything that they need is available in the website package. One of the things that, like, for instance, click to call or click to schedule an appointment to make the website interactive. When I build the website, I do the on-page SEO. SEO is search engine optimization. It means page names and descriptions to make it Google friendly. Google's like 80% of all the search engines in the United States. A lot of the search engines just feed off of Google's results and host those up. So you want to make the website as Google friendly as you can. We do all of that when we build the website. I think the biggest thing where I stand out is I have the attitude that the website's not done until you tell me it's done. I don't go in with perceived notions of what I think your website should look like. I want to build the website so that you're satisfied with it, that you're happy, and I keep working on it until you are.
What is the reason that you actually got into this business?
Twofold. One was to provide some extra income for my family because when one company I worked for filed for bankruptcy years ago, and I was only out of work for about 6 weeks, but that was quite a shock because I thought I was working my way up through the company and I was doing fine on that, and then they filed for bankruptcy, and all of us, tens of thousands of us, were all looking for jobs at the same time. They were the largest food wholesaler in the United States, and I was the retail account executive with them. And when I got laid off because they went out of business, that was a wake-up call like I never had before. So that was one of the reasons I was looking for something that I could do that wouldn't interfere with my job. And websites is one thing that I could do in the evening and do on the weekends and that. So that's one reason. The other reason was to help these small business owners to give them an internet presence that they couldn't afford. So.
And how's that worked out for you?
That's worked out.
So you've been doing this now, how long? How many years?
17, 18,
17 years
something
now.
like that. Yeah.
Are you, go ahead, Lisa.
I was going to ask, you talk about targeting in some of your spots.
Yeah.
The SEO targeting. Can you explain that and just, give us an overview of what targeting is?
Retarget, isn't it retargeting?
Retargeting.
Well, retargeting is one, yeah, but even building traffic. One of the things, I can build a website and it'll look nice and everything, but if people don't go to that website, and they don't really know you're there. You can hand out business cards that have the web address on it, but that's not enough traffic to keep most businesses going. So, so I recently took several courses in building traffic, and retargeting is one of the things. And just to give you an idea on what retargeting is, everybody knows what it is because they've experienced it, but they don't know what it's called many times.
Right.
And if you've ever been to, let's say, Amazon or Walmart, and you've looked for an appliance or a tool or a book or something, and whether you buy it or not, every website that you go to after that, you see an advertisement for that on the right-hand side of the page or at the top of the page or someplace for it. And it follows you around for weeks after
Forever.
that.
Forever.
Yes.
Well, it's not actually
Weeks.
forever.
Ever.
It seems
Yep.
like it is.
If I want to
Yep.
buy
When
something.
I'm looking at a mixer in the kitchen, I keep
Yep.
getting new mixers coming
Oh,
on the
yeah.
ads.
They don't even care if you bought it already. They still
Right.
serve those ads up.
I have a fairly extensive wardrobe because I need to for my entertainment business. I have to wear certain things at certain times. So I have to be appropriately dressed on each and every concert. And
Okay.
I will put in, like, for a dinner jacket. I want to buy a dinner jacket. I get inundated. I just Google some information, and instantly there's a whole bunch of people trying to sell me something.
Yeah.
So they're paying for that retargeting.
Yes. Yeah, they are. Those are paid ads. And what we do is we do the same thing. The thing is, only a couple of years ago, really, it was so expensive. You were talking like $3,000 or $4,000 a month in just marketing costs to do something like that. So that's what shut all the small businesses out of it. A lot of the medium-sized businesses out of being able to do that. And so we have new technology. We've been testing it, and we've been using it for a while now. But we could do that for a fraction of what these other companies are charging. We're talking a few $100s.
And now, if somebody has a website done by somebody else, they can still get in touch with you, and
Absolutely.
you can add that feature to their computer.
Yes.
What information do you need from them in order to go and do that?
Well, what it is that they want to promote, quite frankly, if they're, for instance, a chiropractor, they might want to give a free exam. I did one for an insurance company, and that's a little bit tougher because they can't really do specials or anything. But when somebody comes to a website, anybody's website, we don't really know why they're there. When they go to that website, they might be looking for a special. They might be looking for a particular service, or they might be looking for a good review. I'll give you a perfect example, might be a roofer. So you go to a roofing website. The roofer doesn't know whether you're there because you're looking for a good price to have a roof redone,
Right.
or whether maybe does that roofer, do they do flashing around the chimney, for instance, or something like that, or are they looking for a good review? Want to see 100 5-star reviews for this particular company, that they do a good job, because it's a huge expense for a person to have a new roof put on. They want to make sure they go with a reputable company. We don't always know why they're there. So what we do is we create about 10 different ads. Some are reviews from their customers, their existing customers. Some might be an offer that they have. It might be a free roof inspection or something like that, or it might be a particular service that they offer. And then we rotate those ads so that when a person visits the website the first time, we retarget them. We put a targeting pixel on their browser, and then when they go to whether it's AOL or WebMD or ESPN or a local news channel or weather channel, something like that, whenever they go through the internet, we can display those ads, and we could swap them out every few days.
Let's say that you did this for me. Well,
Yeah.
let's say it's Lisa. There's somebody that's looking for some financing or whatever it may be, And Lisa, what does Lisa have to do with you in order to set up this kind of system?
Okay.
Let's tell the people at home what they have to do and how simple it is so that they can call you. And if they're going to call you, what phone number are they going to reach you on? Tell everybody how to get in touch with you.
All right. Well, I'll give you the phone number right off the bat because we'll do it again. My cell number is 717-222-0506.
Can you repeat that?
Sure. 717-222-0506.
Okay, now Lisa is all set and she's ready to talk to you about doing some retargeting for her business. What do you need from her?
Okay. Well, Lisa, what I would need from you, I need to know what your website is, of course. So you would tell me what your domain name is.
Mhm.
I would want to know what you wanted to offer. What kind of a business is it? So we can get some kind of a.
We do alternative financing. So
Okay.
we're looking at businesses that need working capital.
Okay. So you might have some special rates that you can offer.
We do.
Okay,
We
they're
do.
competitive rates. They may not be special rates, but they're competitive rates.
They're competitive rates, but we also work with the folks that are turned away from the banks. So
Okay.
people with less than ideal credit ratings.
Okay, all right. So that's one thing. We could create some ads that would say along the lines of if they've been refused credit somewhere else, this is to make sure that they don't give up, but to call Lisa. Okay. Another thing we could do, we would create ads that would say, we have a great rate for businesses to be able to borrow money for their business. Okay?
Right.
And then if you have Google reviews, some 5-star Google reviews, we would take the best of those, maybe the top 3 or something. And maybe we cut down the language on it because when we create the ad, we don't put a lot of words on it. We want to make sure that, when they see the ad, they get what it's about immediately.
How does Lisa know that the ad is running? How does she know that? And is there a click feature that somebody saw that particular ad?
Well, we have all the data. We know how many hits it gets, how many people clicked on that ad and went to her website and that. How does Lisa know? Other than me telling her, which, why should you believe me?
Exactly.
Right.
Why
Right.
should we believe you?
When you go to I'll tell you what, I see ads for my own website business every day. Okay. So Lisa would go to her website and take a look at it, right?
Right.
That would pixel her browser. So when Lisa goes to AOL or WebMD or, Fortune magazine, whoever offers advertising on her website, she would see her ad there.
Popping up.
Yep.
Interesting.
So it's very, very effective. One of the things that happens, Lisa, Norman, is 96% of the people that go to your website never call you. And if you doubt
I can vouch for that.
Okay. All right, good.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you doubt those numbers, take a look at the hits that you get on your website. How many unique visitors have gone to my website, and match that up to how many calls or emails you got for business.
Right.
I do a considerable amount of advertising for the shows
Okay.
and helping charities, raise money.
Right.
We can get hundreds of thousands of people that have looked but not clicked.
Right.
The idea, of course, like you just said, we want them to click in and then get more information and hopefully buy. Hundreds of thousands of people.
Right. Well, if you got everybody that clicked on your website to call you and do business with you, you wouldn't have enough time to do it all.
I take 2% would be fine.
That's right.
2% is
So you're already missing 96% of the people that go to your website so take 2% of that and it would mean a lot of additional business for you, quite frankly.
And you just, you want to feel good about your business. So you want to know that it's out there getting a response.
Right.
Whether they buy or they don't buy, you want to know that they're
Right.
there. You want a conversation with a potential
That's right.
client. You can't sell something if you don't have conversation.
That's right. Yeah, yeah, absolutely have to get people to be able to contact you somehow, either by phone or email or something, in order to, make that first step so that you have an opportunity to tell them about your service.
And as a matter of fact,
And
we're going to
what a
be
great plug.
we're going to be doing a little commercial right now. Take our commercial time, and so people can call you after the show. Tell everybody
Sure.
your phone number again and your email address.
Yeah, okay, it's 717-222-0506. And my email address is Ray, R-A-Y, at GH, that stands for Greatest Hits, Ray at GHwebsites.com.
All right, great. So now we're
Perfect.
going to take a short break, about
Okay.
2-3 minutes. We're going to show some commercials so we can make some money. All right, so stay with us a little bit,
Okay,
and we'll
great.
be right back in a couple of minutes.
Thanks,
Here we
Norbert.
go with our commercials. Thank you. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Friend Entertainment USA. My name is Norman Wasserman. I am also known as the Music Man. Let me just tell you a little bit about Friend Entertainment. We put on concerts for charities, and we do that everywhere from New York to Las Vegas. We do R&B, Motown, rock and roll, jazz, whatever it is that you wish, Friend Entertainment will deliver the best of the best for you and your charity. Here are some of the names of the talent that have performed with us on our stage. Stevie Wonder, Tina Turner, The Temptations, Earth, Wind and Fire, the one and only ELO, Elton John himself, Kool and the Gang, and the fabulous Donna Summer. Go to our website, friendentusa.com. That's www.friendentusa.com, or feel free to call us at 631-698-9696, 631-698-9696, and we'll see you at the next show.
That's media stations in Bohemia, New York.
Okay, and welcome back to the Business Pal Hour with Lisa and the Music Man. And there's some guy in a blue shirt. What's your name?
Ray.
Ray. Nice to see you, Ray. All right, so let's pick up for where we left off. Lisa, you were asking Ray a question?
Well, we were going through all of your different services, so I'm curious. What are your services expensive compared to the majority of what others charge?
No, they're not actually, and I think the reason for that is pretty simple. I think most people can grasp this. I have a virtual agency, not a brick and mortar building. So I bring in if I don't do it myself, like websites and videos and things like that, retargeting, I do all of that myself. I'm certified in retargeting, by the way. Anything beyond that that I don't do personally, I have people that I rely on to do that I have vetted, and they do excellent work, and that way I can keep the prices down because I'm not paying rent, insurance, utility bills, and all of that to go with having brick and mortar. I've been there before, so I know what the expenses are.
Also, let me just tell you my opinion. You're a really nice guy. Really nice guy. I would love to do business with. If I'm looking for a website, I want to do business with someone like you. You're not a roof for tin salesperson. You're just a really good guy who knows his business, has a good price, and people should call. They should just use your services. It's just that simple.
Thanks. Thank you. Yep.
But that's why you're here. No, let me explain. Lisa and I just don't put anybody that wants to be on the show on the show. There's a reason why you're here. You're here to make us look good. And you're doing a good job so far, because we're looking good, because you're doing a wonderful job.
So I want to get back to the questions a little bit. Sorry. No, you were mentioning about you have a team that you contact and that can do the work for you that you vetted. Are these folks that are your subcontractors, or do you have an agency that you work with? How does that work?
No, they are subcontractors, quite frankly. They're strategic partners of mine.
Nice.
Like I say, I have vetted them. Search engine optimization, for an example, I do on-page search engine optimization, But when you get really deep into it, you're talking about writing blogs and doing posting and just a lot of very technical, detailed work. And quite frankly, it's changing all the time because Google doesn't want their system gamed. They don't want me to be able to go to a customer and look them in the eye and say, hey, I can get you to the top of page 1. Because if I could do that for whatever your business is, let's say it's an automobile dealership, okay? If I told the automobile dealership I can get them to number 1 on page 1, what do I tell the next auto?
Exactly. We get this all the time. Everybody's going to be number 1. How?
Sure.
For what? For a nanosecond? You know.
Well, some of them do that where they'll find a way of gaming the system and they can get you to number 1. And it might be through some obscure search term, for an example. And that's how some of them do it. And they can display that they got the results for you. The thing is with that, once Google catches on to what you're doing, not only do they drop you back out of that position, but they penalize you.
How do they penalize you? What do they do? Charge you or don't allow you to be on?
They drop they have ways of dropping your listing way down. If they
as in non-existent.
As in page 10.
I won't say it's non-existent, but you'll wish you hadn't have done it before it's over.
Well, that's close enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
What other services does your company offer besides the retargeting and the implementation of websites?
Well, one of the big things that customers need, and I'm looking at what do customers need to get found on, get found by their customers. One of the things that's really huge is reviews. So I will help, I help business owners to get listed on Google My Business. It's called Google Business Profiles today. They changed the name recently. Get listed on that and help them get reviews, show them different ways to get reviews. And one of the things that we do is we have a program where we can monitor their reviews in real time when they get a 5-star review or if they get a 1 or 2-star review, that we notify them immediately what it is. We can help them respond to reviews. We help them build their reviews, build 5-star reviews, and then market those reviews on their website, on Facebook, so different social media platforms and that. One of the things that happened to me, we have time for me to tell a short story.
Sure.
What happened to me back a few years ago is somebody made the comment to me, and I sell websites. They made the comment to me, well, people make a decision who they're going to buy from before they even go to your website. And of course, I didn't want to hear that at the time, and I wasn't sure what they even meant by that, quite frankly, until my aunt passed away. My aunt lived in Lockport, New York. It's a little bit above Buffalo, north of Buffalo. She passed away. I wasn't able to go up there, but I called, oldest of 6, right? Called all my siblings on the phone. Who's going up there? Maybe we should all chip in and send some flowers up. And they all thought that was a great idea and I should do it. So I got nominated to do it. I opened my laptop, went in the Google search bar, and I searched for florist, Lockport, New York. When the search results come up, I skipped all the ones that are ads and went down to the organic listings. I picked out the florist in Lockport that had the best reviews, opened their website, ordered the flowers, closed my laptop, and thought, holy cow, that's exactly what they said people do. I made a decision to do business with that business before I even saw their website. So reviews are huge. And,
okay, but there's one thing I'm going to add to that.
Okay.
People do business with whom they like.
Yeah.
Okay, and when we're involved in a lot of networking world.
Yeah.
People do business with who they like.
Absolutely.
It's the law of attraction.
Yeah. That's my belief. We all can do the same thing, and you can do it less expensive than somebody else, but you're likable. You're likable.
Thank you.
So
I don't know how to answer that, Norman. But
you don't have to. It wasn't.
I appreciate it.
Say thank you. That's it. You'll pay for it tomorrow.
Okay.
Ray,
The check's in the mail.
So, Ray, are there any upcoming events, trade shows, or fundraising that you would like to mention tonight?
Yeah, well, one thing, I do have a special for business owners. I put a package together that includes retargeting, but it includes a lot of different pieces that businesses need that would help them get more business. And if I could give the website to it,
Yes,
it's actually a training webinar that'll show them 3 of the newest top ways of getting business to their, getting leads to their business. and the website is Online Review Guru. Online, ONLINE, review, REVIEW, Guru, GURU.com. And when you go there, it'll the video will play, the video will play, and it goes through the training in that. And it shows you how you can do some of the stuff you can do yourself, and for anybody that doesn't want to do it on their own, we do have a special package that we put together to help them do it. So
now, is there a time that this is going to come, or is this already there?
It's an auto. Yeah, it's already done and ready to go.
So it goes out the same time each week, each day. How do you do it?
Actually, it goes out about every 10 minutes. There's a timer on it, and it shows you. Yeah, it'll start every 10 minutes.
Excellent. So Joe Ponte is watching this evening. Hello, Joe.
Joe Ponte is always watching, but thank you for Joe Ponte.
Yes, thanks for joining us tonight. He was letting us know in chat. And Ray, I shared that website with the audience in the chat so that people could hear, just click on and access.
Right. And the other thing too is they could call me anytime. And, if they have questions about marketing, and, I get questions about helping them pick a domain name and different things like that. I'm glad to help any small business, small to medium-sized business that needs some help or advice on it.
That's why people should use you.
That's haven't learned everything yet.
And what is the number they should use?
717-222-0506.
Awesome.
I just love to help small business. Actually, when going back to the story, when I had a supermarket and got forced out by big business, that's why I have such a desire to help small business. I know how difficult it is to be a small business owner. And I think, a lot of things over the last couple of years with COVID and that has really hurt a lot of these businesses. And any way I can help, I'd be glad to help. Just give me a call.
Do you ever do any group teaching or on the technology and such that's out there as a sales tool, but also in helping people decide which way they should go?
Yeah, I do. Actually, I'm in a couple different networking groups, and I'll do training. It's not training. Everybody gets a chance to talk about their business in a networking group. And as a matter of fact, I just did that today. And we talked about the importance of Google My Business, Google, they're called Google Business Profiles today. But, a lot of businesses already have Google. They're thinking, or I think that they're thinking, I'm already listed on Google, so I don't have to listen to this.
Oh, that's not true.
That's not true because, one of the trainings that I went through recently, I'm always trying to learn this stuff because it's always changing and there's just so much of it. But one of the things that I learned is the more information you put on Google My Business and the more frequently you add or change it, for instance, adding images to your Google My Business profile or videos. A lot of people don't even know you can put videos on there. Or just changing your store hours. Let's say Valentine's Day is coming up in February. So you go in there and maybe your business hours are 8 to 5 every day. So you go in there and say, well, I'm going to change my business hours for Valentine's Day to be 8 to 6. or 8 to 7, something like that, or maybe 8 to noon, maybe you take off early, right? But any change like that tells Google that you're managing that part of Google, and they will boost your ranking up.
That's good information to
Yeah.
have for us small guys.
For small businesses that do, like, for instance, I have an electrician that I did a website for just recently, and I gave him information. I says, what you want to do when you get into a home and you're putting in a new wiring box or you're doing something like that, take a picture while you're there. Make sure your geo tracking is on your phone. Take a picture, because now this electrician doesn't service customers all over the United States or even all over Pennsylvania. He does like one or two counties. But what that does is it defines your service area for Google when you take these pictures and you upload them to Google My Business.
Do you do that for your business nationwide? Because you can, right?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I'm kind of like the car repairman that needs to work on his car a little bit more.
What would you do?
You mean the wife's
I've been
car?
so busy with customers.
What would you need? We asked a question about Lisa before. What would you do in my particular case regarding the music world and business, and with the specialty that I have of not-for-profit organizations, which is the niche of my business?
Yeah.
What would you ask of me, and what would I need to give you?
Okay, well, some of the things that we would really promote would be your reviews. You have great reviews from customers for what you've done, so we would want to promote those as hard as we can. One of the things that we could do is we have, we'll call it a widget. The widget is just a piece of technology that we can implement on anybody's website. And what it does is it live streams your 5-star reviews in the bottom right, or it could be bottom right, bottom left, it doesn't matter, of your website. So what happens is your website loads up, and a few seconds after that, one of your 5-star reviews comes into view in the lower right-hand corner. It shows 5 stars, and it gives the person's name, and it verifies that it's a legitimate review. It'll say Google or Facebook, wherever it came from, and it'll give that the text, and the customer can click that and open it up and read the entire text and everything. And then there's a call to action button where they can click to call or click to schedule an appointment, something like that. But it'll stay there for a few seconds, and then it goes away, and a few seconds later another one comes up, and it'll stay there for a few seconds, goes away, and a third one. And it just goes through all of your, and we could set it up that it's only for 5-star reviews or your 4 and 5-star reviews, whatever the customer wants.
Everything is based upon testimonial and reviews. Is that right?
Not everything, but that's the biggest thing. And that's the biggest thing that I see most businesses are lacking. You'd be surprised how many businesses that have been out there for years, and I look at their Google reviews and they have 3 reviews, 3 5-star reviews. The company's been in business for 20 years. Well, You know
what? A lot of people don't want to give them, though. Not that they didn't enjoy themselves, not that they didn't get good service, but for some reason, and I'm one of those I have a lot of reviews, all right, mm-hmm. and I have a lot of testimonials, but I could have a lot more, and why I don't, they just can't find the time that, to 2 minutes or 5 minutes to type up something online and post it.
Yeah. But I didn't really like to ask for reviews when I first started, to be honest with you. Excuse me. It was a while after I got started that I started asking for reviews. What I suggest to people now is I can create a QR code, for instance. I suggested this to one guy that owns a carpet cleaning business today that's in our networking group. I says, what you should do is and I can do this matter of fact, I offered to do it for him. Create a business card that says, hi, my name is, and then a blank line. And then on the other side of the card, it would have the QR code. And give that to a customer when you're done cleaning the carpet. It says, hi, my name is John. Or you write it in with a Sharpie. pen and hand it to the customer when you're ready to leave. The customer is thrilled with having their carpets cleaned. That's the most excited they're going to be is when you're done. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
So you give them the card. It has a QR code, and the person takes their phone and they take a picture of the QR code, snap it, takes it right to the Google review page for that particular business, and a person can leave a 5-star review right there.
What I'm doing now is I took it off TV. When you see a Broadway show being advertised and you catch the people walking out of the Broadway show exclaiming how much they love the show and yada yada, so now I have somebody at the end of my shows. Just all you need is 3 or 4. If you do 3 or 4 or 5, whatever it may be, and you do it often enough to how often you get to perform,
Right.
You're not going to beat those live, immediate reactions.
That's right.
They're not staged. They're really
they're emotional still.
Absolutely.
They're excited. Yep. Especially when they loved it.
You could get to 100 or 200 very quickly like that.
Yeah, I do that, and they love the shows except for the host.
That's not true.
I know that's
They love
not
the
true.
host too.
Yeah. So that's it. So how do you want to finish tonight? What's the message you want to get across to people? All right, to let them know that they should call you and ask you a question. Ask you a question on how they can better their system, better their website. What should they do?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that businesses can do to improve their website by making them interactive.
Make the list now. Tell them what they should do.
Okay. Well, different things that they could do on their website is the live streaming of the reviews, like I mentioned. That's one thing they could do. Make it easy for customers to get a hold of them. Remember, 96% of the people who look at your website are not going to call you. So a click to call button, especially if you're like in the trades, in like construction industry or something. I understand you have your phone with you and really rather not have it ring when you're working. But I'll tell you that customer generally will go with the first person that answers the phone.
I agree with that.
Yeah, they are the ones that usually
Even if it's a phone service, leave a message, but have a live person.
But so that's one thing. Click to call. Click to schedule an appointment. You could get a calendar link with Calendly is the name of the service. Set up an account with them. It's free, and we could put a widget. We call everything a widget when you put something on the website. That people can click on that and schedule an appointment with you.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
And it's out of control nowadays. It's the spam phone calls. These tech people have learned how to get around the blockage. Well, is there a particular spam protecting, stop the robocalls type of service? Is there anything that you could recommend to everyone listening?
I don't know if there's a way around it. There are some services with a monthly subscription that you could
Who would they be?
I think it's Robo Call or something. I get the name.
Yeah. Okay. Besides that one,
I don't know if there's a way around. I get them all the time. Also, I get people calling me to sell me websites. Sell me stuff
we sell tickets over the phone to help the charities.
Yeah.
All right, and there can be John Smith that gets, and there's nobody. It's really a woman on the phone who's from an insurance company and wants to sell insurance, and they're using fictitious names. We're not going to use your own name, but there's no more companies. It's always a person's name. So I'm not letting that phone call disappear. I want to find out who it is. But if you don't answer me as soon as I pick up that phone call's over.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you'll hear a pause there.
That
for a few seconds. I hang up right away. They change your numbers all the time. They have a way of, you block the number today and I've had a call at least once a day from Stephanie for some business loan thing.
Yeah, the ERC, which I promote and I sell, but everybody's on it now.
It's really
Yeah.
Lisa that's calling you.
It's Lisa. That's it.
You know, she just
Changing
changes
her
the
name.
name so you don't know it's her.
But now what they're doing, and this just started frequently, and recently, there's some technology called, I think it's called voice drop, where they could ring your cell number, they call your number, and it just rings for a split. It's not even a full ring. I can hear it ring, and then it quits, and then the next thing I know, I have a voicemail. It's a way of leaving you a voicemail without even ringing your phone. And I've been getting that quite a bit lately.
I get one guy who calls me every day on a robocall.
Well-
I'm your insurance agent. No, you're not. You know,
Norman, I wish I had a good
answer to my question.
advice for you, but I don't. Every new technology that really starts working, some marketer will get a hold of it.
Well, I have advice to
the
everybody
beauty-
that's listening to this show tonight, is to give you a call and have a conversation with Ray Fitzgerald. He's a terrific guy. He's ethical, and he's responsible, and he cares. He really does care. Am I making you blush? Good. I can see your
Well, a
face
little
turning
bit.
red.
Yep.
But
And
really-
Ray, what's the best number to have everybody reach you at?
Yeah, the best number is 717-222-0506. That gets right to me.
All right,
Direct
so this
line.
is what we have to do now. You only paid for an hour. So
Okay.
your hour is over, buddy.
All right. Do I have to put more money in the slot on the side of my
We'll talk
computer?
about that tomorrow.
Okay.
But
All right.
right now, you did a great job. We're so happy that we had you here. All right. And we hope that you come back again. And I think I'm going to give you a call and to see what we can do with targeting, with my particular site.
That'd be great. I'd love to work with you on it.
All right.
And Ray, if you
Thank
love
you.
the experience, please share it with everybody else. And
I will.
Have them
By the
come
way,
down.
if anybody
It's
else...
been a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it.
Anybody else that's out there and would like to spend an hour with Lisa and I and talk about your business and what life's all about for you business-wise, 631-698-9696, or you can reach Lisa at
516-268-0350. And we love hearing the stories of everyone. So
And if
it's a
you're-
pleasure for us to do.
And you don't have to be in New York. Across the country, we have people coming on this show over the next few months. By the way, there's a very good possibility that we're going to start going to 2 nights a week sometime in June.
Yeah.
So things are popping for us. I think I picked a good partner here with Lisa, and things are moving pretty good. Ray, thank you so much. Good night, everybody. Don't
you,
miss
Norman.
next
Thanks,
week's
Lisa.
show, by the way. It's a
Yes.
really special, it's Give Back Tuesday. It's what we call Give Back Tuesday. It's a charity. Please tune in. You're gonna have a heartfelt, wonderful time on this particular one. Very interesting show that we got lined up for you next week. So good night, everybody. Have a great week, and
Good
we'll
night.
see you next week.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
The Business Power Hour with Lisa and the Music Man is sponsored by Media Stations. Create your own media and have your own station. To get started with your own content, call or text 516-448-2066. That's Media Stations in Bohemia.